I'm going to take you through the technique and the cues that we use at Zero to perfect the bench press. Rule number one is, where does the power come from? In bench press, power comes from the pecs and the triceps, primarily the pecs. The pecs' job is to lever your arm across the body. The mechanical advantage of leverage only works if the leverage point is fixed, in this case, the shoulder. But your shoulder's not fixed. Your shoulder can move forward and back, up and down. So rule number one is really about how do we fix our shoulders in space so we can get the most power into the bar. You're going to need to move your shoulders in a particular way. We want your shoulders back, down, and we want your chest up and out. That is the hardest thing to do across the three lifts in powerlifting. To help you understand what to do with your shoulders and how to maintain them in the bench press, I'm going to take you through a quick drill. This is the drill we use at Zero to teach the shoulder position on bench press. First, you're going to hold your arms out straight in front of you. From there, you're going to pinch between your shoulder blades. Hold that, and then you're going to pull your shoulder blades down towards your waist, like you're tucking a book under your arms. From there, stick your chest up and out, arching your back. You're going to hold all of that together the entire time you bench press. Try that again, all in one smooth motion. Shoulders back and down, chest out. Here's the drill we're going to use to define how this is going to feel while you're bench pressing. Take a band out in front of you. You're going to pull your shoulder blades back and down like you just did in the previous step. Slowly, you're going to pull the band apart all the way to your chest. While you're doing that, you're squeezing your chest out to meet the band, pinching between your shoulder blades even harder. Come all the way to your chest and stop. Then slowly let tension out of the band, letting your arms come forward just to about halfway. The key here is to keep squeezing your shoulders the entire time, not letting them relax as you let go of the band. From there, you're going to go through a few reps, slowly letting go of the band, squeezing between your shoulder blades, then pulling it back apart all the way to your chest. After you've done 3 to 5 reps of this, you're going to stop on the chest and then pull the band back as far as you can. This is really going to challenge your ability to hold that shoulder position while your arms are going through full range. We're going to take that concept and we're going to put it back into the bench press. Now that you understand rule number one, how to control your shoulders while you're benching, we're going to put that into practice. You're going to lie down and set your grip on the bar. You're going to pull your shoulder blades back and down and stick your chest out like we did in that drill. You're going to hold that while you unrack the bar. Before you start the descent, make sure you're squeezing your shoulder blades back and down and sticking your chest out just to be sure that you're completely set. Hold that the entire time. As you're coming down to the chest, think about squeezing your chest out to meet the bar, like you did with the band. When you touch on the chest, imagine your chest is made out of glass and you don't want to break it. You're going to touch very lightly on the chest, keeping all of that tension in your back. While you then push up, you're going to make sure you're still squeezing all of that tension in your shoulders. So keeping that shoulder blade position the entire time, all the way down, all the way up. Rule number two on bench press is breathing and bracing. We perform this slightly different on bench press compared to squat and deadlift in the sense that we're not trying to pull our chest down towards our waist. We're trying to stay nice and extended, keeping your chest really high. The important thing about breathing and bracing on bench press is that when you take a big breath in, your shoulders are going to lift up. So when you brace, it's important to pull them back down towards your waist and maintain that tension the entire time that you bench. So you're going to take that big breath and brace, setting your shoulders at the top of the lift and hold that all the way down, all the way up. Rule number three on bench press is how you set up and your leg drive. It's important to understand how to set up and how to get the most out of your legs to ensure that we can put the most power up into the bar. In order to use your legs in a bench press, we want to think about pushing your hips back towards your shoulders, shortening the gap between your hips and your shoulders. The way that you achieve this best is going to be different depending on whether you bench with flat feet or up on your toes. I'm going to take you through the best setup method to use for either of those styles. How you set up on bench press is far less important than where you end up. However, the way that you set up can cost a lot of energy, and we want that energy to be saved for pushing the bar up. I'm going to take you through how to set up for either flat-footed or up on your toes to get the most out of your bench press. To set up for up on your toes, you're going to lie down flat and grab the bar, setting your grip width. You're going to squeeze the bar really tight with your pinkies. From there, you're going to take your body back behind the bar. You're going to pull your feet back as far as you can up on your toes. This is where you engage your leg drive. You're going to push your heels down and push your hips back towards your shoulders. You're going to keep that on while you swing your body down towards your hips. This is going to force you into your arch. From there, you're going to set your shoulders on the bench, pulling your shoulders back and down. Before you unrack, make sure you push your heels down, push your hips back, hold that tension the entire time, then you can bench from there. In doing so, you're going to create as much tension as you possibly can, you're going to save energy, and as a result, you're going to have a great bench press. For a flat-footed setup, you're going to lie down and set your grip on the bar, squeezing the bar tight with your pinkies. You're going to set your shoulders first, pulling your shoulders back and down. You're going to hold that tension, you're going to dig your heels into the ground, picking your hips up in the air. From there, you're going to walk your feet back, pushing your hips back towards your shoulders. You're going to keep walking your feet back 1 foot at a time, maintaining a flat foot until they're as far back as possible and you can get your hips onto the bench, still maintaining a flat-footed position. From there, you should be in the tightest position possible, and that's going to help you produce the best bench press possible. To recap the steps of bench press, once you've chosen the way that you're going to set up, you're going to set up into position. Once you're in position, make sure you've got your shoulders pulled back and down and your chest out, and you're engaging your leg drives, pushing your heels down and pushing your hips back towards your shoulders. Hold that tension while you unrack the bar. To unrack the bar, try to push the bar out less and pull the bar down towards your waist more. This will be much easier if you have someone help you hand out the bar. Once you've got the bar out over your chest, take a nice big breath and brace, locking your shoulders into position. Hold that tension through your brace, your shoulders, and your hips as you come down to the chest. As you're coming down, squeeze your chest out to meet the bar. Touch the bar very lightly on your chest and keep all of that tension while you push the bar back up. If you can do that, you'll be able to get the most power out of your bench press.